Are you ready to give Sunday for Dogs a try, but you want to know the pros and cons of this air-dried dog food before you finally sign up to their subscription plan? My name is Kieran and I'm one part of LIFEWITHKLEEKAI alongside my wife Yasmin and my two dogs Skye and Copper. Before we go any further, I just want to point out that if you do click any of the links in this video or in the description below, we may make a small commission. I also want to point out that this is not a sponsored video. Sundays have not paid me to make this video. I wanted to make this video to share our own insight and perspective into Sundays and hopefully help other dog owners who are thinking about signing up to this brand make an informed decision, whether they decide that it is for them or whether they decide that they want to go with another dog food brand. So with the introduction out of the way, let's take a brief look at Sunday for Dogs and 5 key points related to this air-dried dog food brand before we move on to my pros and cons. My first point is that Sundays for Dogs is an air-dried dog food brand. Sundays cook all their recipes at 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That allows them to kill all the germs that could potentially be in the food, and it also allows them to lock in all the nutritional goodness and all that natural flavor from the human grade ingredients. That moves me on to my second point. Sunday for Dogs only use human grade ingredients in their dog food. So we're talking about ingredients like USDA beef, we're talking about fruits like apples, cranberries, we're talking about vegetables like carrots and broccoli. In fact, if you look at the ingredients that are on the side of the box, you can see all the human grade ingredients that goes into your dog food, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to recognize most of the ingredients, and you may even eat some of the ingredients as part of your own daily diet. The third thing to keep in mind is that Sundays is vet founded, it's vet formulated, and it's vet approved, so you can have peace of mind knowing that the experts have formulated your dog's recipes. The fourth thing to keep in mind with Sundays for Dogs is that they offered customized dog food. To get started, you will need to fill out their questionnaire, answer key details about your dog before Sundays will suggest a meal plan. Once Sundays have all the details, they will customize their recipes to meet your dog's specific needs. My fifth and final point when talking about Sundays for Dogs is that the food is made in the USA and it is shipped from the Midwest within 3 days of you signing up to Sundays for Dogs. So now that we've taken a look at 5 key points related to Sundays, let's move on to my Sundays for Dogs pros and cons. We're going to start with the pros. So one of the biggest pros related to Sundays is that it's dry food, but it's still human grade. So typically when I have thought of human grade dog food in the past, I usually think of fresh frozen meals, but I love the fact that Sundays comes in a convenient air dried format. So if you're used to feeding your dog dried dog food, then it's not that big of a transition to move from a regular traditional kibble brand to Sundays for Dogs, because it's still going to be dry dog food and something that both you and your dog are going to be familiar with. One of the things that I think Skye and Copper really liked about Sundays for Dogs is the treat-like texture. The way Sundays have made their food, it really just appears like a treat, and Skye and Copper loved eating Sunday for Dogs. I think they did think it was a treat, and the treat-like texture actually encouraged them to slow down and enjoy chewing their food. Rather than with frozen meals, I find they sometimes gobble those down really quickly. If you've been following our channel for a while, you'll know that Skye is a really picky eater. She has caused so many headaches over the years because usually she will turn her nose up at dry food and wet food. She really does like frozen meals the most. So I was a little bit hesitant before trying Sundays because they are an air-dried dog food brand, but I was really pleased to see that Skye has finished all of her Sundays meals and she really enjoys their air-dried dog food. I think the fact that it has that treat-like texture definitely plays a part. I also read that it has 90% meat, and I think that extra meat in the recipes definitely helps with Skye because you get the natural aroma of the meat that's in her dog food bowl. While we fed fresh dog food in the UK and we had a brand that we really liked, one of the problems that we did have with this dog food brand was that we had to make a lot of freezer space to store all Skye and Copper's meals. I love the fact that I don't have this problem anymore with Sunday for Dogs. Sundays can just be stored in my shelf in my cupboard, so I don't have to worry about making space in my fridge or my freezer to accommodate Skye and Copper's meals. Another bonus is that there's no prep required. So usually with fresh frozen meals, I have to cut open the packet, I have to squeeze the packet into the dog food bowl. Not that many steps, but it can get messy sometimes, especially if some of the food doesn't go in the bowl or you get it on your fingers or on your hands. With Sundays, it's dry dog food, so there's actually no prep involved. All you gotta do is open the resealable bag, take out a scoop of dry food and put it into your dog's bowl. It's that easy. One of the other big advantages of Sunday for Dogs is that it's much cheaper than feeding fresh. When we signed up to Sunday for Dogs, I was quoted $138 to feed Skye and Copper Sunday for Dogs each and every month. When I compare that to some of the cheapest fresh dog food brands that I found, for instance, the Farmer's Dog, that comes in at over $50 cheaper per month. So it is a significant saving. Another great thing about Sundays is that the dog food is actually really versatile. While we do feed Sundays to Skye and Copper still, we actually feed it in combination with a raw dog food brand. I like that I can use Sundays as a tasty topper on top of their raw dog food. I can also some days just feed Sundays if I want. I can also grab a handful of Sundays when we're going on a walk, and if I want to do some training while we're on that walk, I can actually use Sundays as a tasty treat because, like I said, it has that treat-like texture. So once you're done with your Sundays, all you need to do is reseal the bag and pop it back in the shelf. And Sundays are right on their website that it will stay fresh for 6 to 8 weeks. This obviously wouldn't be the case with fresh dog food. When you open up the meal packet, you do need to use it within a certain number of days. So they would be my overall pros and cons. I think the biggest pros for me are obviously the fact that Skye and Copper enjoy the food. Skye is a really picky eater, and so that is one of the big advantages that I've had since feeding Sunday for Dogs. She has not turned her nose up at their food. So I've been really pleased with the impact that they've had on my Alaskan Kleekai. With any dog food or any dog product, there are some cons. So here are some of my cons related to Sunday for Dogs. Like I said, Skye is a fussy eater. I would typically look for a brand that has a large variety of recipes. Sundays for Dogs has only 3 recipes: beef, chicken, and turkey. And I think that is a slightly disappointing range, especially when you compare them to a lot of fresh dog food brands that are out there that usually have at least 4 or 5. In my experience, Skye and Copper really like the beef and chicken recipe. So if you do have a picky eater, I'd recommend going for beef or chicken. They didn't really like the turkey recipe, so I have not included that in my subscription plan moving forward. If you are used to feeding traditional kibble that you're used to picking up at your local pet store, then this is going to be more expensive than what you'd expect to pay at your local pet store or your grocery store. So that is something to keep in mind. Sundays do offer a premium dog food service. You're getting customized dog food. It's been made using human grade ingredients and it's getting shipped direct to your door. So for those reasons, it is going to cost you more than what it would to buy traditional kibble at your pet store or grocery store. So that's something to keep in mind, and certainly might be a con in some people's books. One of the big disappointments for me was that there was no customized scooper in the dog food bag. I know there are other tailored dog food companies in the USA that do provide a customized scooper. I would have liked to have seen this because I think it would have really followed through on the customized and tailored element of Sundays for Dogs. Obviously, Sundays do give feeding guidelines and tell you exactly how much to feed, but by having a customized scooper, it would really take the brain work out of preparing their meals. So overall, what is my Sunday for Dogs verdict? Well, like I've said in this video, we are actually feeding Sunday for Dogs at the present time. We are paying for it with our own money. So I think there's no better review that I can give than the fact that we are actually feeding this dog food brand as I speak. One final thing before I sign off, I just want to let you know that if you do decide to give Sunday for Dogs a try, we actually have a 50% discount that you can save on your first order of Sunday for Dogs. To get that discount, all you need to do is click the link in the video or in the description below, and you will make a 50% saving on your first order of Sunday for Dogs. But that's all for me. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful. I will see you in the next video.